Do you want to know how you can make your kids debt-free after they graduate college or university? Well, today I will be explaining everything that you need to know about the Registered Educational Savings Plan, or the RESP. So to be a bit more specific, today I will be explaining everything that you need to know about this account and all the government incentives relating to the RESP. So when this video is posted, it's a day after Mother's Day, so I want to wish all the mothers out there a happy Mother's Day. And I find this video quite fitting because my friends and family are starting to have kids, so I just want to make this video because if you're one of these people who have kids, it's something to definitely consider to start investing in for their future. So for those of you who don't know me, my name is Ryan Banks and my channel is about financial tips and tricks that you can bank on. The main goal of an RESP is for you to do long-term investing so that you can help fund your kids' post-secondary education. So this means college, university, trade school, apprenticeship programs, and etc. But the main thing that you need to know is there are also some government incentives. And with this additional tax shelter account that the government came out with, you can specifically save money on the side for your kids and also get grants from the government so that you can build up that wealth for your kids for their school. So the other thing I just want to mention real quick is if you plan on going to school later down the road, well, you can open up a RESP for yourself as well. Now, before I get into the government grants, I just want to talk to you about how important it is to start investing early for your kids' RESP. Even if it's only $25 a month, it makes a big difference. So let me give you a quick example. So let's say you start investing when your kid is born up until they're 18 years old, just $25 a month. And at an average rate of return of 6% on your investments over time, this will bring you to about $9,700 when your kids are 18 years old. But if you wait 5 years to start investing, your kids will only have $1,500. And yes, you will be saving $1,500 of contributions, but you are missing a lot of those gains of your investment growing within time. And that is why it is so important to start investing earlier, because it is way better so that your money can compound a lot quicker over time. And this can also apply to you personally. Just a little side note, but for your TFSA, your RSPs, anything like that, the earlier you invest, the better it is. Now let's get into a bit more detail about the RESP. So you can contribute up to a maximum of $50,000 per child for their entire life. You can also receive a maximum amount of $7,200 per child in terms of government grants. And let's say that you forgot to contribute 1 year, well, you can carry forward those contribution limits or the maximum amount that you can receive per grant the following years. So as long as you don't go over those thresholds, you won't get any interest and penalties. But if you over contribute, just like a TFSA or RSP, you will get a monthly 1% charge for the over contribution amount. Now let's get into the government grants. So the first grant, which is probably the most common one that people have heard, is the CESG. So that means if you contribute up to $2,500 per year, the government will give you up to $500 per year worth of grants, which means you don't need to repay that. Now the second grant that parents are eligible for their RESP for their kids is the Canada Learning Bond, and that is more towards for low-income family, and there are a lot of criteria about that. So if you want to learn a bit more, I have a link down in the description of this video so that you can learn more and see if you're eligible for this grant. Now, when I gave you my example of the $25 a month and how much you can get if you start from your kids born till they're 18 and versus if you wait 5 years, well, that calculation did not include the government grants that you can receive. So that is very important to note because you will also get that additional grant amount and those amount of money that you receive that specific year, so that grants can also accumulate wealth over time. Now let's talk when your kids are 18 and they're ready to go to school. Well, now I'm going to tell you the tax implications when you take out the money out of the RESP. So when you give the money to your kids for school, all the contributions amount that you gave over the years will not be taxed on your kid's tax return. But any of those gains, like interest, dividends, capital gains, etc., those amounts or amounts earned will be taxed. And this is not alarming because when your kids go to school, they have essentially probably a summer job and they probably make $10,000 to $15,000. And if you add the amount of your RESP, they're in a very low tax bracket. When you set up your RESP for your kids, you're going to see an individual RESP and also a family RESP. So the difference between the two isn't too much, but an individual RESP is for one specific kid in particular. And if you do a family RESP, it's, let's say your first kid is born and you put it into a family RESP and you end up getting 2 more kids. Well, anytime that those 3 kids go to school, you can take money out of that RESP. But if you have an individual one, you could only put that money towards one specific kid at a time. So if one kid doesn't go to school, then you can't essentially give more to other kids because it's an individual RESP. I hope you found this video very informative and you know everything that there needs to know about an RESP and you plan to start contributing towards your kids' RESP. The other thing that I did mention in this video is when I went to school a few years back, which I know I say a few years, which seems not too long ago, but I paid around $10,000 at university per semester. But thinking from now, from 18 years from now, tuition could be $15,000 or even $20,000, who knows? But it can get very expensive very quickly. So having a nice little safety fund for your kids can be very beneficial for them when they go to school. So if you have any questions whatsoever, you can always write down a comment or email me at ryanbankscpa@gmail.com. So thank you for watching and I hope you have a great day.